Oh, hey there, everybody. Welcome to PSVG, the official podcast that plays some video games and the flagship show of the PSVG Podcast Network, the only gaming podcast network to feature a sweet Canadian, a salty New Englander, and a corny guy from Iowa. It is your host, Kevin. With me this week, the corny guy from Iowa himself, Kyle. Sir, how are we doing today?
I'm really happy to be on the second best show on the PSVG Podcast Network.
You mean after PSVG OT?
Wait, is that a show? I've never heard of that one.
Oh, unrated?
Still not picked. No, not sure of that one either.
Nintendo Shack. It's got to be Nintendo Shack.
That's what I'm talking about, exactly.
Okay, all right, fair enough. With us this evening, I'm not going to introduce him. I'm going to let him do it himself. Sir, take it away.
Hey, everyone, it's me, Sean Capri. I'm here. I can't believe I got a little excited. I literally just told you guys it's bedtime for Lincoln. Like, he's just going to bed. I had to stop making noise, and I'm screaming, hey, you tricked me.
I did. Chelsea's going to kick in the door any minute now and just, like, slap you upside the head.
Yeah, that'll be it. I was on PSVG, and that was it. That was the quickest appearance of all time because I got my ass kicked by my wife.
So for those of you watching on YouTube Live, keep an eye out just in case she does, in fact, beat the crap out of Sean on the air. So that'll be fun for
I will weep for the viewers.
Well, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you for telling a friend. We love that about you guys. Check out the website, playsomevideogames.com. But as always, we like to talk a little bit first about what we've been up to, what we've been playing. Kyle, sir, take it away.
Yeah, so, if anybody ever listens to me ramble on about games, they know how big of a fan I am of ye old Overwatch. So I've jumped into the Retribution event, played that a little bit thus far, and so far I'm enjoying it. I don't think it's quite as good as the Uprising event was last year. I think the Uprising event was a little meatier, gave a little more. I had a little more fun playing it. But this Retribution event is nice. It lets me play characters that I don't play very often. I very rarely play DPS characters. So a chance to jump in and play a really bad Genji is a good time. The event on Legendary difficulty is extremely hard. But overall, I like the things they keep doing and the fact that they continue to add to this game and keep giving me reasons to come back to it. So obviously just jumping into Overwatch as I typically do. Over on the old PS4, still plugging away at Ni no Kuni 2. Really enjoying this game. I think there's a lot of things there. It's one of the rare times that I think a game puts a lot of small things into a game that actually makes it more enjoyable. There's a lot of systems there. They're not necessarily as deep as they could be, but because there's so many of them, if they were super deep, I think it'd be very challenging to feel like you knew what was going on in the game the entire time. So still enjoying that, still enjoying the aesthetic. Really still wish there was more voice acting in it and more awesome cutscenes. That was one of the hallmarks of the first game, and just something that, especially with that aesthetic, I wish we had more of in Ni no Kuni 2. But still really enjoying it, and that is holding my time on my PS4 until, this little Kratos guy rolls out next week. But over on Xbox, then, still plugging away in Far Cry 5, as I think almost everyone is. I think of the PSVG crew, I like the game the least.
Yes, you do.
But that doesn't mean I don't like it. Like, I like it. It's good. I just don't think it's great. But still plugging away at it. I seem to be having the most problem with annoying AI things of anyone.
Yeah, you do.
I had an airplane the other day that found me, and it decided to promptly be like, hey, there he is. And it just flew into the cliff and exploded. I was like, that's cool. All right. Well, I guess I don't have to worry about that thing. Like, it literally was like, there he is, banked to turn, and just flew right into the side of the mountain.
You are so dead sexy. The pilot got distracted and just drove it right into.
It just couldn't handle
that rubbernecking thing. Like, hey, wait a minute. What? Oh no!
It was really interesting though, because my wife was actually watching, and she goes, did you make that happen? Is that supposed to happen? I was, no, I don't think the way that's supposed to go. But hey, it worked out for me in the end, so I'll take it.
Is your wife into games? Like, does she watch you play a lot?
She doesn't watch me play very often. We play a lot of things together. Co-op wise, though, we're actually currently playing Lovers in a Dangerous Space Time together.
Yeah.
So we play a lot. Yeah, we play a lot of co-op games, but we don't. She almost never watches me play. She watches me play enough Overwatch to know I'm really bad at McCree. And that's like the thing she'll say is every time she sees McCree in anything, she's like, hey, that's the player you really suck with. I'm like, thank you. I appreciate that. That is accurate.
The reason I ask, I think somebody should do a show or feature of like the great things that non-gamers say to gamers. Like, I love One of my favorite things ever. I recently discovered that my library rented out games, and the old librarian, like typical, like just what you think when you picture librarian, rented this game for the very first time. I was so pumped, and she's like, "Yeah, you have this game for 3 weeks," and I was like, 3 weeks? Holy cow! I was amazed that they're just giving me this game for 3 weeks, and she's like, "Yeah, you have plenty of time to get really good at it," and I'm like, I've never thought of like getting. I mean, she basically just told me to get good. So maybe she's more of a gamer than I think.
Did you respond by just sliding over your business card, be like, "Ma'am, you don't know who I am"?
Yeah, no.
Check me out.
I was like, "You're right." I bought right into it. You're right. I do have time to get good at this. Thank you, librarian lady. It was very sweet of her. So when somebody asks, like, "Is that supposed to happen?" or like, "Are you winning the game?" I love those like non-gamer type of questions and comments, dude. It's so funny.
No, absolutely. So yeah, so that was good. And then I made a little purchase this evening. You know, I got a PS4 Pro recently, and that left me with an extra PS4, and I have this Xbox One S, 2 terabyte system that has just been sitting there, and GameStop upped their trade-in values for things for a couple days, so I became the new owner of an Xbox One X this evening.
Oh, yes, man.
So yeah, I was gonna set it up, and then I was like, hey, I have to podcast. I'm probably have a lot that I have to download, so we'll set that up after the fact. But I am really impressed because I took it out, put it next to my PS4 Pro, and I was like, wow, one of these things is way prettier than the other, and way smaller than the other, and way more powerful all at the same time. So yeah.
But also, you are so next gen, man. You're so 4K. You're all set. That is awesome.
Yeah, so I'm pretty stoked about that, and look forward to continue. Really excited about State of Decay 2 in a month or so here. So yeah, so that's kind of what I have been up to on the gaming front. I haven't turned my Switch on in like 6 weeks. So
that's crazy. You went from not having an Xbox at all in December?
Yeah.
So you've upgraded now twice.
Correct.
Yes. Yes. Nathan is very happy. How's your internet? Do you have data caps?
No.
Oh, you're set.
Yeah.
Download the crap out of those enhanced by X patches. Let's do it. Jason Lacey says X. Yeah.
They're all yelling X. So we got a full house in the chat tonight for sure. So Sean, what have you been playing, man? What have you been up to?
I love Far Cry. Far Cry is like my game of the year right now, man. And I love it on the X, and that you can just fly up around in your helicopter and rain hell from above. I just recently found out my Tulip helicopter that I got in some mission. It's a special helicopter. If you press Y, it switches the weapon to like either bombs or just flares. I'm not sure, but it is.
Yeah, you look down, right? It shows like a map from. Yep.
Yeah, well, I guess that's what it's for. I don't know. I just think they look pretty, and I think that they're doing some damage, but I'm not even sure. I don't even care. My biggest gripe, as soon as I say it's my game of the year, my biggest gripe is like I don't like killing animals in games, and like this game especially, it works in it more than you'd think for a game that doesn't really reward you in anything other than money. Like there are a couple challenges, and you kind of feel dirty about. I think it was beat up a bison with your bare hands or a melee weapon only, and you get a challenge or achievement or something like that. I'm like, that must be some sort of like ancient Native American type of game that they used to play. Like, did they just try and beat up the thing with their own hand? I don't know, man. My imagination runs wild with this game, and that's why I love it. And I don't typically love open world games that just have 1,000 different things to do, but for some reason, this has just enough there for me to go, oh, I hate these suckers. I'm just going to go beat the crap out of everybody. I'm going to do all the things. And it just landed at the absolute perfect time. I have a feeling that if this were to land really around anything else, I might not be quite as in love with it, but I've been searching for a game to really just dive into, and this was it. And I hope that Ubisoft kind of continues that with dropping the games at the right time. These are huge games, and I'm loving Far Cry, man. That's really that's the biggest game that I'm doing. Stardew Valley continues to be my go-to Switch.
Yes,
and I never thought I was a Stardew Valley kind of guy. Like I've tried it before, I just didn't get it at all. And all of a sudden, like last night, I was so tired. I have got an hour, maybe. Could probably play some Far Cry, but it just felt a little too intense. And this is like on the other end of the spectrum. Like I'm just, gonna water my wheat. So it's not and then just go running around in the caves, man. It's good times. I am pumped about God of War. I don't know if we added that into of all the reviews that are coming out today.
Yep.
But as an Xbox person, really is my go-to. I do feel like there are enough exclusives on a PlayStation, for like that to be the only reason I have my PlayStation is just for the exclusives. All my cross-play stuff is on my X because that's the best place to play because of cloud saves and I can change my name. And I'm pumped, man. But I am pumped for God of War as well. So that's
sometimes there's ramifications for decisions we make.
Oh yes. Yes.
And I'll say, I think your PSN name is fantastic. I think it's pretty good.
And have I told you guys the story of when I brought my Xbox in to play Rock Band for a work Christmas party? This is why I'm Sean Capri on Xbox and not on well, I used to be Awesome Schlong on both, just for those who are unaware. My PSN name that we're alluding to is Awesome Schlong, and I cannot change it. And so I brought my Xbox 360 in to play some Rock Band for a Christmas party at work. And I fired everything up. We've got like a projector, so it's on the wall and everything. I was teching it out. And I fired up just to test things out, and I realized, oh crap, every time you start up a song, the player one or the lead singer, like it shows your gamer tag there. And like the biggest letters possible. And it's like, Awesome Schlong, the singer. And I was completely flabbergasted. There's no way. I cannot be in front of my colleagues and my CEO. This is an office job. This is not, I don't know. Maybe there are some jobs where that'd be okay. So I logged out and I played as like just a new user or a guest or whatever. And everybody's like, it's so weird. I thought there were more songs in this because when you start the game, it's just the first 10 or 12 songs. And I'm like, yeah, that is weird. I don't know why that's happening. And I know exactly. Like I haven't logged in to get all my other songs. So I am now Sean Capri on Xbox. I swear that if at E3 they announce the name changes, that's all they need to do. They can they've got enough games. They can just announce that and everybody will be super happy. At least I will be on behalf of everybody. And it's no C in the Schlong. I think that's why I get away with it. Jason Lacey's. Everybody spells it wrong. Come on, guys, get it right.
Is that the same as like ain't no G's in Nintendo? Playing
That's
Nintendo?
right. Ain't no G's in playing Nintendo.
So ain't no C's in Awesome Schlong. Fair enough.
Wow. Okay. I think we should move on.
There's that.
Yeah. All right. So broken record here. I too am playing Far Cry 5. I haven't had these technical issues that everybody else has, these glitches. I just had the one mission where it kind of disappeared on me, getting the Mack truck early on in the game. It disappeared. I failed the first time around because I didn't know what I was doing. And then I couldn't find the truck again until I'd done like 3 other missions. Then it just randomly appeared again.
Can I interject really quick?
Yeah.
I'm going to forget. And this is one of the things that really annoys me about Far Cry 5. Open world game, awesome world, want to go do things. Hey, go get this truck. Sweet. Hey, look at that shrine. I'm going to go blow it up really quick while I'm bringing it back. You go 3 inches off the road. Fail. Immediately. What? That doesn't make any sense.
You need to stay focused. No ADD in Far Cry. It
doesn't want to enable that. It's trying to correct all the damage that Sesame Street did to us all.
I just want to blow up the thing on my way so I don't come back. Come on.
No.
Let me explore your open world.
Not allowed. I will say though, I do have to put it out here that I told you so to everybody in PSVG on this game, because if you go back like 2 months, I believe I was the only person excited about this game. Josh had never given Far Cry a fair chance. Donnie had never even played like a Far Cry. He had zero interest in it. And now he loves it too. Who else is playing it too? Is Devin's playing it, right? I think Dev's playing it. I forget. But anyway, like now you guys are playing it, but nobody before was excited about this whatsoever.
Do you forget that I exist?
Yes. Quite often I do.
Gosh, I'm so excited for this game.
But you guys never, like, I don't know. I was the only one like touting it for months and months and months. Like, hey, this game's coming out. Like nobody else was excited about it. Everybody talks, the God of Wars or, these other big releases, and nobody was like, everyone was kind of like, oh yeah, Far Cry's coming out. Yep. And that's kind of more what I was saying. Where the whole time was like, I was focused on this the whole time. I'm the one who dropped, the $100 on the deluxe super mega edition with everything. So.
You did, but that is true.
Yeah. So anyway, it was really cool. So, I played Far Cry before Far Cry was cool.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, hipster.
Literally types at the same time as I'm saying this. On the Switch too, I'm only playing Stardew Valley as well. And
nice, no way.
Much like you, Sean, like I got it early on. I think I got it the week it came out on Switch. And I played it a few times. I was never really hooked. I was like, guys, I don't get this. I don't know why people love this game. And I didn't play it for months. And then probably maybe about a month and a half ago, I picked it back up again. And I just like all in now. Like I'm almost done with my first year, I guess. Winter sucks in this game. If you haven't made it that far yet, Sean.
I'm in fall. So okay. It's very colorful.
Yeah, you just in winter you can't plant anything, you can't grow anything.
What?
So it's kind of like get up and you can go to the mine and you can do some fishing, and that's about it. So it's a little like, okay,
so it's like winter.
Yeah. Yeah, which is, bravo to the developer for being accurate, but it's kind of like in a game you're like, well, you should probably just skip winter. Like don't do that, because although it did give me a chance to upgrade all my tools and not miss out on like, hey, I need this tool to do my farming. So I could do that. So be prepared for that when you hit the winter. Try and do all your upgrading then when you don't need your tools.
Nice, man. That's pretty much what it's like in Edmonton in fall and spring as well. You can't plant anything or you can't build houses because the ground is so frozen.
Yeah, it's a little different out there. Now, did you since you're playing too, are you trying to do the community center, or did you let that JoJo Mart or whatever it is?
I didn't get to it. I've started to kind of like I've been playing as if I will get to it eventually, because so I'm every time I grab a new harvest or a new plant or whatever, I keep one and I put it off to the side because I'm not really keeping track exactly, but I know that if I keep one, then I can collect them all and get the things. So I think maybe in the wintertime is maybe when I'll maybe focus on that and just kind of maybe take a day or two to just see what I've got and see how it goes. I just don't want to, for right now, I'm feeling like I'm just letting the game guide me to whatever, rather than any, like, I like that there's specific things that I can go to, but for the moment, I don't need that to play it. But I can understand, like, in lieu of the game actually getting its hooks into you, like that's something for you to go after, and it's sort of like an objective in an objectiveless game. So I'll get there, I think. Yeah, that part too I struggled with, because it's like you can't remember all the stuff they asked for, because as you complete some collections, it opens up like, hey, now there's this 3 other rooms you need collections for, and like there's no way you can remember everything it needs or how many of it, or if it has to be, a silver star or gold star level, whatever the case is. So now that you mention, maybe I should start a notebook. Maybe I should just like keep notes on the side, just to maybe take the obsessiveness to the next level.
It's not a bad idea. It might come in handy, to be honest, seriously, because anyways,
tell my wife.
Yeah. Shh.
She'd be like, nerd.
It's true. Still on the PS4, playing Agents of Mayhem as my PS4 game for the time being. The game is so much fun, and it's Coach Mo been tooting its horn for a while, and everyone kind of blew it off. But it's a lot of fun. It doesn't take itself seriously at all. It's complete insanity, but it's a lot of fun. It's just kind of like a mindless, let me pop this in and just play it for a while and enjoy it. So
nice.
That was good too. And then as we know, I'm hitting the road this weekend, so I won't be on next week's show. Donnie's taking over, or Tyler's taking over, actually, I think. So I needed some games to play. I'm not traveling with my Xbox or my PS4, so I needed to download some games for Switch. So I took advantage of the Oxenfree on sale, which I have not played yet on the console. So that'll be fun. And then Adventure Pals, which is very much a hashtag Kevin game, because it's about a little boy and his pet giraffe and pet rock that are protecting his dad from being turned into a hot dog.
Yep.
Is this the one where the giraffe can like fly with his tongue?
Yep.
That is awesome.
I want to hear your thoughts on this
You
game.
buried the lead, man. You got to start with that.
I thought a kid having a pet giraffe and pet rock as its side quest characters was enough, but hey.
That sounds like my dad.
So yeah, that's I'll report back on that when I come back from that, as well as some board game action, because I am packing some games for the road. So I'll let the Board with VG guys know what's up with that. But yeah, that's it for me.
I'd like to picture you like on the road, like driving or flying or whatever you're going to be doing, just with a giant board game set out. Like you're sitting there like in your plane seat with like Fireball Island in your lap.
Yes. Yep.
Kind of figure it out.
We're going to set up the Harry Potter Battle for Hogwarts game. We're just going to take up 3 rows and play all that.
Shout out to the Fireball Island Kickstarter, by the way. I don't know if you guys know what the hell I'm talking about, but my gosh. Oh man, so good.
It looks so good, but it's funny because it's a game that we all remember, but it wasn't good.
It's nonsense.
And they're now remaking it, and it looks awesome, but I'm sure the base game probably still isn't good.
Well, keep in mind,
the add-ons will be good.
The whole point is that they take these old games, redevelop them so that they're good, or better at least. And I have full faith in Rob Davio. This game's going to be solid.
It's a lot like Mousetrap, really, where like you don't even remember what the game is. You just remember the destruction.
You want to set up the board. You just want the board. You're like, this looks cool.
Yep. Oh, I got knocked over by the marble. That's amazing. I don't remember how to play.
That's true. I really don't remember how to play. Remember how to set it up.
Nobody does. Really good. Yeah, there's no way to remember.
That's true. But all right, everyone, you've heard enough from us, so it's time to hear from you all at home. It's time to check out the messages. Our first one comes in from Josh Stapleton at MTTG Street Team. Will Sean hop back in the DeLorean with myself, Chowfie, and Donnie and others and play Mario Golf on 3DS? If not, how do you sleep at night?
Oh, on a pile of money with many beautiful ladies. Yeah, man, let's do it. Yes, I will commit to that. I want to play a golf game. I was trying to fire up Rory McIlroy with Dave Moore the other night, and I just not feeling it. But I'll play some Mario Golf. Sure.
See, I'm the opposite. I already told Donnie no, so he stopped asking.
That's really mean.
Like, no.
But he wants you to.
But I'm the mean guy.
Oh, okay. Well, then sure. Makes sense.
I have an image to uphold.
Fair enough. You got to stay on brand. That's why every time I podcast, I'm ingesting some sort of like aspartame. So there's your Diet Pepsi.
Kyle, will you blow off the dust and play Mario Golf?
What's a 3DS?
Oh,
do you even still have one?
No, I still do have my 3DS.
Okay.
And actually, I think I have Mario Golf too. I guess I could technically play.
Oh wow. Well, see, I went. I was moving some stuff around. I was cleaning out my storage room the other day in preparations for my daughter's birthday party this past weekend, and I found our old. My older kids, when they were younger, they had a 3DS collection or Nintendo DS collection, I guess, and I found all their old games. So I was like, I think it's time on this plane ride to introduce my 3-year-old to some of these games. Like Cooking Mama.
I was gonna say that as a joke.
Dude, that was my middle daughter's first game. Actually, no, my oldest daughter. That was the first game she ever beat was Cooking Mama on the Nintendo DS.
That's awesome.
Then my middle child beat Dora the Explorer and something when she was even younger. So I still have it. I have Cooking Mama 1, 2. Crafting Mama, Camping Mama, so they love those games. So I have all these in here that I found. So we're gonna introduce the 3DS to my youngest and see how that goes. So there you go, nice. Donnie. My toddler will be playing Mario Golf with you, but not me. No. So yeah. Thanks for the question, Josh. Next question comes from Skinny Matt at Skinny Matt K. Since Target no longer has an Amiibo section, does anyone else think they will now be even more limited in their releases? I know it looks like some Targets haven't fully gotten rid of them and still have a section there where it's basically just Animal Crossing Amiibo on clearance. But I did find one locally that they had actually taken that aisle out completely. So he's wondering what do we think is going to happen to Amiibo in the future, considering Target's dumped them all, Toys R Us is out of here, and they always had the largest, I think, Amiibo selection out of anybody. So, Kyle, your thoughts?
I think if they were selling a ton of them and making a ton of money, they wouldn't be getting rid of them. Like if they're making money, why get rid of them?
But I don't know. I've never heard Amiibo has not been selling though. It's just I've noticed Target has only had Animal Crossing, except when Breath of the Wild came out, they carried the Breath of the Wild ones for a little bit, and then like when those were gone, it was just like, hey, we're never going to restock these. We're just going to continue to have Animal Crossing. And then Mario came out with the wedding ones, and I think I saw that once in a Target, never again. So it seemed like they do sell. I don't know why they're not buying them. We hear Nintendo talk about their sales on Amiibo every time, so I don't know if that's really the
right. But if they don't ever have, like, if they never stock them, like that wouldn't change availability at all. Because if they just never had them to begin with, unless you wanted a Tom Nook, like, what does that change? Like maybe I don't know. I as somebody who doesn't collect Amiibo, I obviously can't speak intelligently to it. I just feel like from a business perspective, with my vast business knowledge and background, I wouldn't get rid of something that I sold a lot of that made money. That just doesn't make a ton of sense to me.
Well, fair enough. So I'll talk to the guy with the large Amiibo collection right behind him.
This is one of them. This is the calm before the storm, guys. If I ran Nintendo, this is exactly what I would do, is make you think that Amiibo is gone. Make all the shelves dry up and think that it's died like the rest of the Toys to Life thing. And by the way, there's a little game called Smash coming out very soon, and that's really what kickstarted it to begin with. And it's not like Toys R Us or Target was awaiting with their Amiibo shelves, waiting for that thing to happen. They made room. So right now, yes, things are looking a little dry. There's just nothing really new to be excited about. Everybody who was going to buy an Amiibo bought it, and there's just some leftover stock. There's really nothing to talk about or be excited about or sell. But I'm telling you guys, be prepared. It is definitely coming back. There's going to be a full-on Smash Series 2, and those shelves are going to be wide open. There's no more Lego Dimension. I got all these on clearance. There's no more Disney Infinity to compete with. They're going to take the whole shelf. It's going to be incredible, and I can't wait. So this is temporary, Skinny Matt.
That's what I was going to note too, is I did notice that it wasn't just the Amiibo section in the Target I was in. It was that whole aisle got clearance out. So the Skylanders, Imaginators were all gone or on clearance. There was very few left. The Lego Dimensions was all but gone, which bums me out because I got into Lego Dimensions late in the game. So there's a lot that I don't have now. Now it's like, well, it's going to be even harder to find it. And we buy them secondhand and it's going to have all the pieces and whatnot. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. But yeah, it does leave it open completely. But we've seen those rumors that Nintendo may actually be going to the card format for Amiibo. So if that's the case, you don't need a whole aisle for that.
That's true. Donnie will be very happy.
Donnie will be happy. It's a lot less fun, but it is practical because I'm looking at all my Amiibo on the top of my desk here. And it's like, I don't even have a ton, but they take up a lot of space. And it's like, they're so cool though. But it's just like, man, they don't do much. They did like one thing in 1 or 2 games. And then you're like, I spent $14 on that. Like, it's kind of, it's
that
a little
is the sad thing when you start to look at it and you go like 14, 14, 14. And you're like, wait a minute, I can't count that high. Wait, that's money.
Dude, I have like, we did this early in PSVG. We did an episode where we were doing original art for each episode. And one of them was me with all my Toys to Life on the table. And I mean, I have over 60 Skylanders, I think. And my kids that did Disney Infinity, so I have over 40 of those. Like, we've done all the Toys to Life stuff. We stopped Skylanders after the car one, whatever. That was Superchargers, whatever.
Oh, guys, hang on a second. I need to show you something. I know the audio listeners aren't going to like this at all, but there's a closet in there. You can look into that closet. That is like 6 rows of Skylanders that are 4 or 5 wide and 5 deep. Like, that is Skylanders is really the Amiibo is the thing that gets all the attention right now. But that Skylanders collection is nuts, and it's Chelsea's, and she's insane.
Dude, I have the entire runs of the first Skylanders game, Skylanders Giants. Like, we had every single character, and I like the games. That's why I'm kind of excited Spiral's come back. So I'm like, all right, they did a really, really good job with the Skylanders games. I'm like, they could do well, touching up, Spyro and see how it goes. So yeah, it got downplayed a lot, and I think when it was really what started it, and they had decent sales even with the last one compared to the others. It just looks like they're kind of just moving away from all the toy stuff because I don't think retailers have the space. To Matt's question though, I did notice that the one Target that had cleared out the aisle already. Looks like they brought a lot of the cross gaming merchandise. So they've carried a lot of like Fallout stuff lately, and I've noticed some Call of Duty stuff. It looks like they're putting that merchandise in that aisle temporarily, and then another section was clearance, but not just the Amiibo clearance. They were bringing like the clearance games, clearance controllers, stuff like that, all into that aisle there too. So it might be a temporary space holder until we see what happens with Nintendo. Somebody else brought up
and Labo too, by the way.
Right, that was what I was gonna say. Where Labo,
Sorry.
It makes no, it makes sense. It makes sense, but this is what I'm confused with Labo is you can't really display or demo Labo in a retail environment. Like, that cardboard would get wrecked in like day one, and Nintendo's not going to go and replace it. So it might just be space for the boxes to be out there, which, okay, I don't think you need that much space. I think everyone's kind of on the fence about how well Labo is going to sell. Like, is it going to be something that people run out and get, or is it going to be, a joke as a lot of people take it currently? So we'll see.
Some sort of like sealant, like spray paint or something, or some sort of like laminator to get a little like plastic coating on that thing. Like, let's protect that cardboard, everybody.
Yeah, the only thing I think of is if they do, a TV and they just run a loop of the demo of Labo and then put some of the created stuff in like acrylic, like in a box. You can't actually touch it, just to kind of see like, hey, this is what the piano looks like.
It'll be
this
like my house. Okay, Lincoln, there's the toy, but you can't touch it. It's like, it's way too far away. You're just stay out of the boundary, stay out of the crease. He'll get it because he's Canadian.
And you'd be like, look at how cool this is. This is only going to cost you $80 to make it be a robot.
Never touch it. Exactly.
Yeah. So we shall see. But yeah, I think there's more to come with there. I wouldn't read too much into it yet, Skinny Matt. I think you'll see some stuff in there soon enough around holidays.
I wish I was thin enough to call myself skinny anything.
You are. Dude.
Anyway, we don't need to get there.
This isn't Flux to Pose. There'll be no showing off of the
There's like the camera's like, yeah, exactly.
For anybody that watched the last episode, you saw a little too much of Lucas, but
or not enough.
Fair enough. Speaking of Flex to Pose, next question comes from Jason Lacey at JW Lacey. Why doesn't Sean ever return my phone calls?
Oh, I was hoping you'd skip over this when I saw it pop up in the thread. I'm sorry, Jason. I don't know what to say.
I have the answer.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah, please cover for me. Oh my God, I'm so sweating here.
Jason, the reason he doesn't is you keep doing video calls and you're never wearing pants, and it makes him feel uncomfortable.
I poop a lot is really the answer that I was embarrassed about. Generally when he's calling, I'm on the toilet. So like text is really my preferred method of communication.
Well, plus you're working on the podcast if you're on the toilet, so.
That's right. I'm rating one of your podcasts.
Right.
For those who don't know, whenever you have a number 2, rate a podcast. You're got your phone there anyways. You've already read that Twitter feed. You're done. Go rate one of your favorite podcasts. We all do it. We've all got our phone with us. Just do it. Then we can stop asking you to.
Just don't rate them number 2.
Yeah, separate your thoughts a little bit, and remember to put down your phone when you're done rating. Then you wipe, not the other way around.
Don't wipe with your rating.
That's right.
Fair enough. Next question, Nathan Thomas at Voice by Nathan.
Voice ed by Nathan.
Yeah, Voice ed by Nathan. That's right. Oh,
Dave. Hi, Dave.
Hi, Dave. Would Sean ever consider ordering a small McDonald's coffee with 4 sugars?
No, I would not. It's not enough coffee, first of all, and then the sugar to coffee ratio is way too strong. It'll be too sweet. And also, everybody's knocking me for all the sweetener I put in my coffee. You guys just try it. Just try it. Your gut feels kind of nice. Like I had to get rid of the cream because I was just like, then I was rating way too many podcasts with too much cream in my coffee. So this is it's good. It sits in my belly kind of nice. It's obviously sweet. And who knows? Maybe I'll be the proof that it doesn't cause cancer. But I'm the guinea pig.
Now, would you drink a small Tim Hortons coffee with 4 sugars?
Tim Hortons is garbage. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. It is really bad. I do not like it at all. That's why I'm at McDonald's every day.
There you go. Fair enough. Except when you're a Burger King.
That's right. Well, that is Tim Hortons coffee, apparently.
Oh, it is?
That's what I hear. I don't know. There's no way to know.
That's true. That's true. Josh Barboni says in the chat, his new phrase is going to be, "Pardon me, I have to go take a rating the Xbox drive."
I'm honored.
At my previous job, we used to call that taking a conference call. So if somebody was looking for a specific employee, they'd be like, "Hey, where's Kevin?" And the assistant manager would cover up, and be like, "Oh, he's on a conference call." Yeah, that was code for your pooping or rating.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Totally. So Devin also says he's on the toilet right now, so he's going to rate this show.
Heck yeah.
So you started
to give it stars. There you go. That's the thing.
Movement. It's great.
Got it. Oh, a bowel movement.
Oh, jeez.
It just works so good, guys.
It does. This is magical tonight.
What the heck?
Next question comes from Andrew Semisek. Sorry if I butchered your name. At Semisek on Twitter. You get 1 Zelda, 1 Mario, and 1 other Nintendo game of your choice on an island, and they cannot be from the same console. Go.
Okay,
Sean.
so we're picking a Mario game, a Zelda game, and anything else that we want?
Yep, and they cannot be from the same console, though.
Okay, so if I pick Breath of the Wild, I can't pick anything else from the Switch. That's okay. That's fine, because I don't want Mario Odyssey. What is my Mario game going to be? I think I'm tempted to say 6 golden coins because I love my Game Boy game. And I really can't think of anything. No, I got to go Mario World. So then that's my Super Nintendo game. And something from anything else. I don't know. You guys go. Maybe let me think about that other one because it's too open. What the heck else do I want to play?
Okay, I'm going
Does
with
Mario Kart count? Is that a thing? Can I take Mario Kart?
I would allow it because it's not.
Is there internet? Is there split? Can I take my Wii U? Can I play Splatoon?
I mean, you can take the Wii U. I don't know if it's going to do any good, but
maybe it's a really small island. I can be like on the other side of the island, and it still works because it's close enough to the main. Anyway, it's stupid. Stop me, please get me out of here.
Okay, I'll go then. So we'll give Kyle some time. Zelda, I'm with you. Breath of the Wild on Switch. Mario, I'm going to cheat. Super Mario All-Stars on Super Nintendo. Ha!
That is cheat. That is, yeah.
And then my other one is Nintendo GameCube, Animal Crossing.
Ooh, because it has all the other games in it too.
And it never ends.
Smart.
Yep,
that's
with that.
The correct answer. Yep,
going with that. Kyle, sir.
Oh man, this is why I'm never invited on the Nintendo chat because all these answers people are going to be really upset with. Okay, I'm going with Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past because it is still the best Zelda game. I am going with Bayonetta 3, even though it isn't released yet. It's only on Switch, and I haven't played it yet, so I'm going to go with Bayonetta 3. And then I'm going to go with Super Mario Brothers 2.
Oh, nice.
Why 2?
I actually really enjoy Super Mario Brothers 2.
That's the guru's favorite Mario.
I mean, it's good, but it wasn't even a Mario game. They just skinned it because it didn't make sense in the States.
Yeah, I like weird things. It's great.
Mhm.
That's true. You did play Virginia and Jazz Punk with me, so
That's right.
have to get a good old Jazz Punk reference in. All right, so we'll count it then. So last official question sent in from Mr. Bad at Mr. Badbit Games. Do you
Joseph.
think I'm a cutie? And then he sent a picture of a little dog smiling.
He I don't just think he is. I know he is. And I'm just kind of like, in my mind, we're doing those little Eskimo kisses because I think he had an American Eskimo dog in that picture. You ask a weird question, you get a weird response. So what do you want from me?
That's true. And we know Kyle approves because Kyle wants to pet all the dogs.
Correct.
So that works. So I'm going to throw, I don't have a prop with me here, but I borrowed the curveball from Coach Mo. And I have a question for you guys. This gives Sean an opportunity to talk because Sean is known, if you're not familiar, for We the Gamercast. And he interviews different people on different things. But I don't know if Sean's ever been asked this question.
Never. I don't know what the
I don't even know what the question is.
I'm just rolling with you.
Why did you start podcasting, sir? What made you start podcasting?
That is a really good question. Because it was there. I don't know. That's probably like why did you, I don't know. I don't know, man. I really just started to come to love podcasts when the podcast app became a thing. Like they separated podcasts out of the music app on your iPhone or iPod even. And they made it actually download directly to your device. Like way back in the day, it was you had to connect to iTunes and then sync it up and everything. And that I'd always heard a podcast, but that was way too much work for me. As soon as that podcast app showed up, I was like, finally, this is what I've always wanted to do. And a friend of mine introduced me to non-video game stuff. Adam Carolla, The Crab Feast is a classic, like comedy one. Mark Maron was another one. And I started to think like, oh, this is awesome. I'm completely obsessed. I'm going to bed listening to podcasts and discovered some of the IGN stuff. And as the more I explored them, I started like, you started like the top where they're super professional. Like the Adam Carolla show, he is like, it's like a radio show. It's totally pristine and everything is polished. And basically you're going down from there. And eventually you get into the realm of podcasts. You're like, I could do that. And I think that's basically what it was, is I wanted to be like, I wanted to just try and see if I could do it. The most basic answer I can give you is that I loved it so much that I felt I should give it a shot. And I wanted to see if, on a technical level, if I could do it. And that's kind of, it was, We the Gamercast was born out of the fact that I didn't have another co-host. So like the whole point of like doing it with strangers from the internet every week was because I didn't have anybody who could commit to like every week. Like the thing that we all know now, which is so hard and why we respect each other so much, is that there's a lot of commitment there. And everybody was like flaking in the early days of We the Gamercast when it was sort of a traditional 4 people around the table doing topics and news and stuff. The first 10 episodes are that. And then everybody flaked, and I still wanted to do it. And I think it's just sort of stuck because people started listening and expected another episode the next week. So I guess that kind of like rounds out the early beginning before podcast and then why it started, and just to see if I could do it. And then people started listening. I'm like, I guess I'm doing this until the end of time now. So thanks, guys.
That's a great answer. That's a great answer. Kyle, so what made you start?
I love the motivation that Sean's motivation was like, I can do something at least that bad. It's Donnie's fault. 100%. Like I always had an interest in thinking about doing something and giving back. And I mean, I know part of the reason why Bored with Video Games now exists is I always thought I was gonna be in the board game realm. That's like where my heart is most of the time. But then Donnie, on Married to the Games message on the forums over there, he was like, hey dude, we should do this thing. I'm like, I don't know you, but sure, you seem like you won't murder me. So let's do it. And that was really it. I mean, it's 100% Donnie's fault. I apologize, everyone.
It's funny how you say it too. Like, hey, sure, I don't know you. You might murder me. Let's do this. That's how 90% of PSVG started in the first place. Like,
yes, it is.
I too, like Sean, had been listening to podcasts long before actually doing them, and same thing with you. Adam Carolla is a great example. I still listen to him on the regular.
Yeah.
He is a master at that completely. It's second nature for him. It's crazy. Kevin Smith obviously was a huge inspiration. All the people he works with and does stuff with too. And in the back of my head, like a lot of people always said, Kevin, I think you'd be really good at this. I kind of do little things at work in my Best Buy days where people are like, I think you should have your own show. You'd be really funny. You should do something this and that. And I was always kind of like, well, I don't know who else to do it with, and I didn't really have that support structure.
Yeah.
And then Donnie came along, and it was kind of like, well, here's my in. And then that infamous first episode was like, all right, who's going to run this? And then everyone just kind of pointed at me, and I'm sitting there like, wait, what? And it just kind of happened that way. So I'm thankful for Donnie for pushing me to do that, because otherwise I'd probably still be sitting in the back seat listening to podcasts going, I could do that, and just not ever doing it. So it's great. I mean, I actually do not listen to any video game podcasts that are not outside our little
man
of influence. Like I don't listen to IGN. I like everything comes from like the Day Space crew and Married to the Games, and then of course our shows. Like I keep it honest. Like I like these shows a lot better than some of these highly polished ones that kind of just like you could tell they have a motivation for doing what they're doing, other than I love doing this.
Yep.
Whereas this amateur group we got going, this indie structure there, it's a lot more genuine and honest, I think, and we're seeing a lot of superstars coming out of it, I think, and it's good to see.
Yeah, it's funny, and I don't mean to slam sort of like the Kind of Funny crew, but like all of a sudden I just realized the other day, I'm like, I haven't listened to the Kind of Funny Games cast or the Game Over Grady show or any of those things in like months, and I'm looking at my list, and it's exactly what you're saying. It's that super indie podcast group of like just our kind of circle of people, and I'd much rather be listening to like friends than people who I want to be friends. Like it's a weird thing that happens when you listen to like the stars of the internet kind of thing. I should also say, really, while I'm rambling here, and I know we want to be conscious of time, I owe Andrew Semichek, who actually answered a question before I let you struggle with his name, just because I was giggling and infuriated him. I owe him everything. He allowed me to start writing for We the Nerdy, and like I remember submitting him a thing, and I remember it being this big deal with my wife. I'm like, I'm so excited, I get to like write and do reviews and stuff like that. So my entry into video game sort of commentary started as a writer. I started my own blog. It was called All in Fun and Games, because I really just wanted to have fun doing it, and I started doing some E3 commentary and predictions and then analysis and all that stuff, and found out how really hard it is to get all the information from E3 and try and report on that.
Yes.
So screw that. GameSpot's got it all amazing right afterwards. But yeah, it all started with writing. And then from there, I got a chance to jump on a couple podcasts with Andrew for We the Gamercast. And then he let me just morph it into what it is. So I forgot that part.
Jesus, you just reminded me E3's coming. It's like, oh, Kyle and I were talking before you jumped on, and it's like, I'm pumped too, but if you followed us for the last couple of years doing this, we go all out at E3, and it's a lot of work for the amount of stuff that we do. I mean, but it's fun, man. It's all about that. But you're right. I mean, the PSVG crew, most of us, I'd say 80% of us, have never met in person ever.
That's crazy.
It's I've met Kyle in person once.
Yep.
I was on a business trip. I happened to be there, and he drove down to come see me. So we hung out for that day. Josh, I've met a few times, obviously, because I used to work with Josh back in the day, so it's a little bit different. But I know like Donnie and Nathan have met, but it's like most of the team has never met each other. But we have this dynamic where it's like I can say that these guys are like my best friends, even though we talk literally every day in the Discord and stuff like that. But we don't see each other. But it's a great community and family we've built, and it's good to see. So that's why I do it. That's why I did it. And that's why I will continue to do so. As you said, we're just stuck doing this until we die now. That's all.
That's it.
That's it.
It's like muscle memory that just guides us into these rooms. You're like, I'm not even thinking, I'm sleepwalking, and like all of a sudden this is on, the camera's on, and mic is hot. Let's go.
Yeah, it's like, what's showing on? Oh, it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna keep doing the same thing anyway. It doesn't make a difference.
I'm driving to work, whatever.
Yeah, right. Still an awesome concept, but man, that's insane. I'm just gonna podcast while I'm driving to work. It's good.
Why not?
Love it. Love it. Anyway, all right. That's enough then. Thank you everyone for sending those questions and tweeting at us at PSVG, or sending them the old-fashioned way to podcast@playsomvideogames.com. It is time, while we have a little bit of time left, to check out the news of the week. Kyle, take it away, sir.
Oh my gosh. This isn't in the order of the show notes. How am I going to handle this curveball? All right, fine.
Strictly professional.
I'm not a professional. We should know that by now. So, folks who know me know I could talk about before. I really love Overwatch. I think Overwatch is great. I watch a lot of Overwatch League. I think it's pretty great too, except a lot of the players in it don't seem like they're pretty great. It was recently announced that so in the past, XQC is a player who got dropped from a team because of his number of violations of their code that they have. EQO is another player who got suspended just because sometimes they just don't have a lot of respect, it doesn't seem. They don't really think about what they're doing. They just kind of do things. The latest person is Dreamcasper, who is a pretty solid DPS player for Boston, got cut because he was found to be getting into relationships with people who are underage. He is 21, and he was being inappropriate with girls who were 15 and 16 years old. So here's my question. In the age of the internet and Twitch culture and everything else, I don't want to say who's to blame in this situation, but it seems like every week Overwatch League has some other growing pain of their players doing something that doesn't make a lot of sense, or seems like maybe nobody's having this conversation with them about how you should act in public and how you should carry yourself and how you should talk to people. Where do we think this is coming from? Is this because we have a whole bunch of 18 to 24-year-old guys, for the most part, other than one female player in the league, who just haven't had that mentor or haven't had that person talk to them about here's how you interact and here's how you present yourself? Is it because they came up as Twitch streamers and they have their chats telling them about how awesome they are all the time and encouraging maybe not great behavior? Where do we think this all came from? Like, why is Overwatch League having so many issues?
I think for me, the first thing came to mind is, well, the Overwatch League is the first mainstream esports thing that's kind of put out there. It's easily accessible. Lots of people are jumping into it as their first exposure to it. And I think it's suffering. Part of what you said, the age thing, I think is a big thing, but it's also suffering the same thing we see in professional sports, where these people are under a microscope. And sometimes it's not, they're not looking at, okay, I want this Overwatch player because they're a great person. It's, no, this person's really good at Overwatch, so I want him on my team. And then the rest of it comes as a second thought. NFL players get away with some horrendous stuff, yet they're staying and playing, where Colin Kaepernick just won't say if he's going to kneel next season, and he's automatically not practicing for the Seahawks. So
that's
like,
crazy.
It's just a ridiculous stuff where it's like, priorities aren't in order here. And I think that's the biggest thing, where maybe the best gamers, it's tough. Like, you want to say, okay, I want esports to do well. I want competitive gaming to be a thing, which honestly, you asked me a year ago, I would say no, it's absolutely not. But I've watched a lot of stuff, whether it's Overwatch or, FaZe Clan or, Caliber, Team Caliber, all that kind of stuff, playing professional esports. It's fun. But you got to think of the type of person, I hate to even say this because it's going to open a can of worms, but the type of person that dedicates like 16 hours a day to just playing one game is probably not the best moral compass for anybody. Because that you got to kind of be nuts to do it in the first place. And I think part of it comes to that, where it's just these people are being put under a spotlight now for the first time. They weren't ready for it, and there wasn't necessarily the best care in selecting these teams, I think.
Yeah, it's a combination of like the immaturity of the players, immaturity of the sport in general. Like this is all very new, and just egos at play. So I actually like the comparison with sports. It's just everybody saying you're amazing, and people think that like they've never really been kind of held to a more like human standard. They've just kind of put up on this pedestal their entire lives. So that's another part of it. And the last thing I think that hasn't happened with esports that maybe is a little bit more prevalent as sports sort of mature is that role model aspect, not necessarily like it's an individual in that person's life, like a father figure or whoever to say like, this is how you should aspire to behave, but like within the sport, where we have sportsman-like awards in all of the different sports, and for awards and recognition for players who do great things in their community. And I don't think that exists in esports yet. And I think it is coming, where we will have awards and recognitions for players who are just great human beings, who are charitable and build like community centers and gyms, or I don't even know what it is, or places for kids to learn to read good. So I think that
Zoolander, the new signee to the Florida Mayhem.
I think it'll come, but yeah, I think it's more than just these are nerds and geeks that are put in the spotlight. I think it is because if that were the case, then it wouldn't happen in like MMA or anything else, where it's a bunch of egos and like people at the top of their game is there as well.
Yeah, it's really interesting in, being someone who enjoys the game as much as I do, and it really likes watching people who play it at a very high level. But just even seeing the teams try to figure out, you know, the owners and the CEOs trying to figure out, how is this supposed to work? Like, what are we supposed to do? And they all have like these like behind the scenes shows for like every team like runs their own one. And for like the LA Valiant, like it became like a meme because like the CEO I think I'm older than the CEO. I could be wrong. Like took a player agilities to an in and out and like was sitting in a car and was like talking about how like, this is your last chance, dude. Like and it's like sitting in the parking lot of an in and out, basically telling this guy like, you need to step up or you're out, you know? And it's just like real. So it's like seeing these players and then seeing these teams trying to figure out what to do. And I just want to be, I just want to like, not that I am super knowledgeable about anything, but I just feel like I'm like, that doesn't seem like a good idea. Like, who is okaying this stuff and who is saying this is the way we want to live, like present the image of our team and how we want to do things. So I still enjoy watching it. I just, every day I kind of cringe when I go read the latest news because I feel like it's going to be, what's the train wreck today going to be?
Do those shows have like sweet training montages with the 80s music and them like working their thumbs out, like sweating profusely?
Unfortunately, no, that would be pretty great, but they do show them practicing a lot. No montage music, though.
Missed opportunity, man. They need producers.
You got to push it to the limit.
Flux post. Bad Bit Games says a couple things here. I think the encouragement to be a heel in esports, it's a sick part of esports. That's why I personally don't watch it. Everyone's a bleep hat. And also he says, if that coach was serious, he would have taken him to Arby's instead.
Arby's is pretty delicious. We don't have In-N-Out here, so
but we all know 90% of people that eat Arby's are middle-aged men who are crying in the parking lot while eating it. So,
were you watching me this afternoon?
Oh, so sad.
All right, so I got a couple quick hits here. Sean alluded to it earlier. God of War reviews are coming out now, which is funny in itself because you look at some games where like they don't let reviews drop till like the day before or the day of release. This one's coming out pretty early compared to what we normally see, and I know some folks have had the game for about a week too. Like it's been in people's hands for a while. GameSpot 9 out of 10, IGN 10 out of 10, Game Informer 9.75 out of 10. Like really, guys, like really, you can. That's just
thanks,
crazy.
Joe Juba.
Yeah, Eurogamer. I like Eurogamer's approach. We recommend it. Just it's recommended. You should play it.
Wow,
it's like a broad thing. Like it's either we recommend it or not. Don't play it. Like I don't get where that ranking is, but it by all means it looks necessary, amazing. We've seen a lot of comparisons to Last of Us, Dark Souls for some reason. Like a lot of people are saying like this is the game of the generation, let alone the best game on PlayStation. So when people start playing it, maybe their opinions of Far Cry will change and there'll be a peg down after that. I'm not sure. Yeah. I know Kyle's excited for it.
It's a super easy thing to say. It's my game of the year right now. Like, yeah, who cares? Nobody's going to hold you to that in 2 months. I love for these reviews to start with a preface going like, I don't want to overhype it, but it's the best game in 15 years.
Yeah. It's true. That's true, but I think by all means it looks like it's going to be a great game. So, but we'll see if it's victim of its hype. Some people that shall remain nameless think that Horizon Zero Dawn was overhyped, and that everyone was saying like that was the greatest game, and then people kind of played and were like, "Yeah, it's okay."
I didn't love it.
I haven't even played it yet. I'm way behind, so.
Yeah, I won't talk about Breath of the Wild. Then we'll just move on.
There's been a lot of comparisons to that in Breath of the Wild over here in PSVG land. Other fun news: Fortnite has been down for like 2 days up until a little bit while ago, and people's minds were exploding because they can't handle not playing Fortnite for 10 minutes.
Oh my gosh!
I like Fortnite. I'll play it, but I'm not like, oh my god, I can't play this game I didn't pay for. How dare they? Yeah, but Epic is sorry about it, and it's up and running now, and they're promising freebies. So everybody, this weekend, if you play Battle Royale, you'll be able to pick up a free back bling gift from the in-game store if you go and select it. And if you actually play the P versus E, which nobody does, let's be honest, nobody plays that. But if you do, you can get a troll stash llama for free, which I think is just your gear is inside the llama. I don't understand it. It's I'm too old. I think I prefer PUBG, but I still play it. But it's all right.
Me too, buddy.
People's minds just blow.
Have you heard the really deep, obviously not true, but kind of humorous conspiracy theory about this?
About the media or about the servers being down?
No, about the servers being down.
No.
So people said it was like there's like a joke going around that the reason is Fortnite has been down for 2 days is Epic wanted to help out their old buddy Cliffy B. so that Radical Heights would get more play
Love
on
it.
PC. So that they're like, yeah, we'll just take it down for a couple days so people will go check out your game and see what it's like.
It was really funny too because I did see that game beat out Fortnite on Twitch because the servers were down. So I was like, it's the #1 streamed game, and I'm like, because there's nothing else. I'm like, people can't play Fortnite, and PUBG's been on the decline as far as streaming's been going. But it's like, yeah, okay, this is this new free game just like Fortnite, and I can't play Fortnite, so let's try out this other new free game. It's kind of a no-brainer, but yeah.
Did you see, that Kaz Harai Twitter parody account?
I love that.
Did you see that tweet? Oh, he should just retire because he's retiring this year. He just quit after this one, where he said it's not Cliffy B's first battle royale game where Lawbreaker started with 100 players until there was just one. It's like
quickly dropped to one. Yeah, it was such a burn, such an amazing burn. I'm gonna miss that account. I swear to God.
I know it's gonna be such a bummer when that's gone.
Oh, the last fun story I kind of have here is so retro games. We got some friends here that do retro gaming, our friends at Nintendo Nostalgia, if you will. But there's a collector out there that recently picked up a couple NES games from a Georgia flea market, so right in Donnie's hood. Yeah, he thought it was weird because they were PAL versions of NES games, which you don't really see in a flea market in Georgia in the first place. So he picked them up and they felt a little bit heavy. So we opened them up and it was filled with drugs.
No way.
Yep.
Heavy drugs.
Yep. So it looks like it's probably cocaine or something. It's in these little pouches. It had not been identified by the time the story came out, but he unscrewed both backs of the games to see what was going on, and after he opened them, he immediately called the police. So, yeah, he's turned those over, but it was just kind of funny to see. The police officer came in to investigate. They took a look at it. They checked out the market where the games were bought, but it was clear that this wasn't like a recent transaction. They're like old drugs. So the person who sold it probably didn't even know that they were in there. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. But also recently, funny you should say, so one of the games in there was golf. And a couple of years ago, a similar thing happened where a collector bought a copy of Golf, opened it up, and it was stuffed with $5,000 inside the NES cartridge of Golf. So
what?
Yep.
That's what I would do if I was like a billionaire or something. I would just like hide like a lot, like what would be a lot of money to just a normal person. Be like, just put it somewhere, and who cares if somebody finds it? That would be amazing.
So now the question is, so you have all these related things here. Is 30 years later, have we stumbled upon like a 1980s drug smuggling ring where they were sneaking stuff in NES cartridges? So you have $5,000 in NES cartridge and you have drugs in an NES cartridge, all exchanged through like flea markets. Like, could this have been a 80s drug ring at the time? I mean, the 80s. It's
related to the people who they killed for the drugs are in arcade cabinets. The bodies are rotting away. And
that's going to be the next thing. They open up and found this guy.
Oh, I wanted money. There's a skeleton. Oh,
this is not as cool at all.
And he rated a podcast in here.
Oh. No, that's all I got for news.
Can I ask one really quick question before we wrap up?
No.
Please?
Okay.
Thank you. So the BAFTAs happened.
Oh, yes.
And I don't necessarily want to go through all the winners. I just want to ask specifically about the winner of Best Game. So the nominees, did you guys see this already?
No.
I didn't.
Okay. So the nominees were Assassin's Creed Origins, Hellblade, Horizon Zero Dawn, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Odyssey, and What Remains of Edith Finch. The winner, take a guess.
I'm guessing it's not Zelda. Otherwise...
Yeah, because Kyle would revel in it. He'd be much more happy if it wasn't Zelda, I think. Hellblade?
Okay. Sean, what do you think?
I don't know why, but I feel like Edith Finch is gonna
That is correct.
Yeah.
What Remains of Edith Finch won the BAFTA for Best Game.
I mean, it was a great game, but
it was a great game.
Not best game out of everything. Best indie game? I'll give you that. But
I thought it was an exceptional. I'm pretty happy with that. I think that's a good recognition of a really, really excellent game.
I mean, for that team, they must be psyched because you're like, right. I beat out Nintendo, I beat out Ubisoft, like, Cloud9. But yeah, I mean, it's an odd choice. But I mean, my 11-year-old has beaten that game. I told you last week, Kyle. It's like for the third time.
Right.
She's beat the game more than I have. Like I only played it that one time through, but she's been infatuated with it and played through it 3 times. So,
yeah, so there you go. BAFTA's Best Game.
So don't take the BAFTAs too seriously, everybody. That's the lesson we learned today.
Wow.
It's weird though. None of us were watching and didn't know what the winner was. Yep.
I knew it was.
Right.
So
fair enough.
I love that game. I think I gave it a 9 or 9.5. That game is absolutely great.
Oh yeah, it is a great game. But yeah, game of the year seems kind of
it's a little tall.
Yeah,
I don't want to overhype it, but it's the best game of the year.
best game in 15 years.
Yeah,
it reinvented the genre.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Actually, for that genre, it kind of did.
It kind of did. Damn, I was trying to make a funny.
I know, but
legitimate.
For that genre, I mean,
it is the best Edith Finch in the whole franchise.
Also, why am I struggling to remember the other one that's exactly like it, but also talks Ethan Carter? I also really like.
Vanishing of Ethan Carter.
Yeah,
I have that. I have not played it yet,
but I guess technically it didn't come out last year. It's an older Steam game, 2014, I think.
That's true. That's true. It is older. But all right, so we're about out of time. So before we leave, everybody, let's let people know where they can tune into us elsewhere and where they can find us on the interwebs. Kyle, sorry, you take it away first.
Yeah, so me and my very, very good friend Josh, we do a podcast each week on the PSVG Podcast Network. That is Bored with Video Games. You can find us at Bored with VG on Twitter and Instagram. You can email us, boredwithvg@gmail.com. We record every Tuesday night and post Thursday morning, so sometimes there's a lag and sometimes we miss things as a result. But hey, we'd love it if you give us a listen, give us any feedback you have, and we'd really, really appreciate it. And rate us while you're on the pooper.
Mm-hmm.
And next, the person who records by himself almost as many shows as the entire PSVG Podcast Network. Sean, where can they find your work, sir?
Just on Twitter. I'm just going to keep it just on the Twitter. So at Sean Capri, Sean like Connor, Capri like the pants. And come say hi. That's it. I do too much. So, and I feel so stupid about it. So I'll just say Twitter.
That's why I stepped back. I geared back. So I was like, I am doing way too much.
Yeah.
Way too much. So, but I'm happy where I am. So my next goal, Sean, is, and I know you saw it on Twitter, is to get the missus on the podcast. Because
on my show or on your show?
On my show. I mean, she can be on your show too. I mean,
no, she's been there. I'm like, that's not a but set your goals higher, man.
I need to have some Fallout talk because nobody here appreciates Fallout like I do, and I feel like Chelsea would be a good match for that. So
yeah, she's played the crap out of that game. We actually have the mat, the outside of our front door on our porch says "Welcome Home." It's a mat. It's a Fallout mat. It says "Welcome Home." It's the Fallout Boy thumbs up and everything. It's awesome.
That's awesome.
Fallout stuff everywhere around here, man.
So hopefully within the next month or so, I think once I get back, I'm going to try and nail down a time for that. So tune in for that, everybody. Also, quick plug, you can find me on the internet at PSVG Kevin. The podcast is at PSVG. Facebook.com, play some video games. YouTube.com, play some video games. All that fun stuff. But I do want to plug too, once I come back from vacation, I'm having a project with my alter ego, according to most members of PSVG, and Justin Warner is coming back. He did let me. He let me down too. So Sean, actually, pineapple on pizza. What are your thoughts?
Love it.
Damn it!
I'll take double up on the pineapple. It's so good. Yeah,
I should have asked that before inviting him on.
Yeah, you can just not air this. You guys can re-record.
That's true. I'm just going to delete this when we stop broadcasting live.
Yeah, delete my audio track and then just make fun of me when I don't respond.
Yeah, Sean.
Jason.
Yeah, so Justin Warner and I will be reviewing the Nintendo Labo.
Sweet.
Once we both come back and our schedules line up, but that's in the books. We're ready to do that. So it's coming soon. Stay tuned for that. But more importantly, everybody, thanks for listening. Thanks for telling everybody. Thanks for rating us while you're on the pooper. But most importantly, we ask that you never stop gaming.